Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee Lover _5. This is Dory coming to you from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Today I'm going to do a color and chat. Really, this is just to keep my hands busy as I'm talking. As some of you know, well, let me start off with, I'm sorry for how long I have been gone. Those of you who have me on Instagram already know, but those of you who do not have Instagram, you are probably wondering where I have been. My father-in-law died very suddenly last week. Last week Monday, I got a message from my nephew and niece who lives with him and said that they think he needs to go to the hospital right now. Apparently he was confused, and he was a very strong personality who wasn't going to go somewhere if he didn't want to go. And so long story short, by the time I had to get a hold of my husband at work, to me it sounded like he had a stroke. I told them to call 911 immediately, which they did. He lives out in the boondocks, and we live about an hour or so away. So I had to call my husband at work, had to track him down because he was not at his desk. He went up there, and by the time he got up there, the ambulance was getting ready to leave. They had gotten my father-in-law into the ambulance, and they took him to Big Rapids, which is again in Michigan, because that was the closest hospital to them, where they stabilized him and decided that he needed more care than they could give. So they stabilized him enough just to get him back in the ambulance to bring him down to Grand Rapids, because we have a lot more better hospitals with med students, and we also have, it's called the Medical Mile, where it's full of students learning. It's full of doctors looking for, doing experiments, looking for cures for cancer, things like that. It has the best children's hospital, on and on and on, with better advancements of medicine and so forth throughout downtown Grand Rapids. So he got brought down here on Monday, and my husband got him settled in the ICU, and by Tuesday morning, when my husband had already come home that night, on Monday night, it was more like Tuesday, like 3 a.m. But anyway, Tuesday morning, we went back up there, and the doctor was talking to us. They had him hooked up to 10 different IVs. I didn't even think that was a thing. Didn't know there was even, 10 different IVs. And they had him on life support. So you had him he was intubated. He had the tube going down his throat, oxygen, the whole 9 yards. And doctor came in and said, "So is your whole family here in Grand Rapids?" And we said, "No, we have 2 daughters that we had called Monday night and told them that they should buy a plane ticket to come up and see their papa." They always called him Papa. So, and he said, "Well, when are they supposed to get here?" And we said, well, they're supposed to get here tomorrow. So that was Wednesday. That was going to be Wednesday. And again, this was Tuesday. And he said, you need to get them here sooner or later because he may not live through the night. So get whoever up here that wants to see him. So we called our daughters and got them on some planes and got them up here very quickly. They bought their own tickets. And I went to go pick them up at the airport, made special arrangements so that they could go see him after visiting hours. And one daughter stayed the night with him. He never did regain consciousness. And the one that stayed with him was all about her papa. And so she read him stories and just tried to comfort him. And at that time, we were still somewhat hopeful if he had survived the night that maybe he could get better. However, Wednesday day came and doctor said he has not had very much, like hardly any response. So he was pretty much almost brain dead. He didn't have very much brain activity at all. And he was a diabetic. And this is why he ended up in the hospital in the first place. He did not have a stroke, but he had sepsis. And sepsis can look like a stroke in the way that it, in the reactions or effects or whatever people, symptoms. And so he had what started out as a scab, and he went to the doctor and they just kept giving him creams, and he got sicker and sicker, unknown to us because he never told us, and unknown to the kids that lived with him, my niece and nephew. So he had what looked like almost a black part of his leg, and he would have had to have that, even if he had that cut off or amputated or whatever the correct word is. Sorry, guys. He might not have even survived the surgery. They said that they didn't think he would survive at all. He was so sick that the doctors probably, the surgeons probably wouldn't even agree to do the surgery. And pretty much there was nothing else that could be done. So we all had to say our goodbyes and do what was best for my father-in-law to keep him as close to pain-free as we could. And he was unplugged and he died that afternoon. He was supposed to have his body donated to medical science. However, due to the sepsis and the poison that had caused all his body to shut down, he could no longer do that, and that was how he was going to pay for his funeral. So my husband and I quickly took care of everything, and we had the funeral on Saturday so that our girls could attend because they had to quickly go back home. One left Sunday and one left Tuesday. Sorry guys, it's been a long couple of weeks for me and my family. So that is why I have not been around. that is why I have gotten behind on the games and showing my coloring and doing the videos and so forth and so on. So I just thought I would get on here real quick, let you guys know what was going on. If you could keep our family in your thoughts and prayers. My husband is having a really, really difficult time, as well as obviously my father-in-law's grandchildren and myself. Yeah, that's what's been going on. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.